I'm on a mission from God, and let me tell you something. It's not just me. I'm not on my high horse. You are on a mission from God as well. Out of 8 billion or 800 billion sperm, you won the swimming race. You were chosen to be here through a zinc spark, the same spark that actually forms stars in the galaxies far away. And the question is what are you doing with that chosen life being here? You decide to either live in prosperity, helping others, creating love, or you decide to live in fear, to escape through drinking alcohol, to smoke weed, to have promiscuous sex that is unethical because you lie about it to your other partners. So through all this, my question is how are you living your life? How are you showing up? Are you living in integrity and true to your heart? Because you can waste it. You can be a derper your entire life. You can try to escape your pain, but that pain is there for a reason. That pain is there to awaken you. It has a purpose. If you heard about Viktor Frankl said that through adversity, man finds his purpose. Those pains, fears, and challenges of life are actually, they're gifts in strange wrapping paper. And those gifts in strange wrapping paper are happening for your awakening because we are just spiritual beings having a human experience. And when you deny that and you internalize, deny, and disconnect from your emotions, putting them in the back of your mind, escaping through alcohol, jerking off, smoking weed, video games, not paying attention to your work, procrastination, those are the things that are escapism, not realizing the infinite potential of the 30 million trilovolts of electricity that are going on through you at this moment. That spiritual energy is source energy that is actually a vibrational frequency that's coming from your DNA. Your DNA is an antenna that moves out into the solar system as a reflection into your body through your cell. The cell is a capacitor that stores that energy. And that energy then has a mitochondria that is the driving force of that cell that moves electrons through that electron transport chain. When that energy doesn't move through the electron transport chain, it now is not distributed in the Merkaba. And that Merkaba is the exact thing that distributes that energy through your meridians. And then all of a sudden your body has a disease and you think you're a victim. But the truth is you created that disease. It serves you. Every single thing in your life serves you. That cancer, you created it. That heart attack, that stroke, you created it. It's a figment of your creation. Your mind does not know the difference between reality and imagination. There is zero difference. The same exact experiences will replay over and over and over in your life until you decide to change your life and change your beliefs, because it's your beliefs that are causing the disease. It's your beliefs that are causing the money struggles. It's your beliefs that are causing the failed relationships, right? What is it that you want with your life? How are you living your life? Because you were born from God. He decided to bring you here from source energy. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't always live that life either. Right? I didn't always understand what was happening, and I felt like I couldn't change it. And I was, when I couldn't walk, I would walk around in pain and drag my leg behind me and wonder when I was going to get better. And when I was diagnosed with MS, I'm like, oh my God, I have to take this nutritional supplement. Oh my God, I have to, eat better, and I need to work out more. And I was already doing all these things, right? But what was the whole thing? What was the difference, right? Because our mind is a magnet. It's attracting all the experiences. So I had subconscious belief systems that were there. They're restricting the flow of energy in my body. Disease in the mind becomes disease in the body. And how was I ever going to get over MS? Because most people, that's a death sentence. They never change it because they don't know what's going on in their mind. Now, you have the tools and you have the knowledge now, since I'm giving it to you, that you can actually heal MS, you can heal cancer, you can heal all those things through just what you think about. You just have to figure out what that thing is. And the answer always comes in silence and through meditation, right? That's where it comes from. So how are you going to find it? Well, go into nature, right? Instead of going in the city where, see all this background here? All this background is filled with toxic light and toxic electromagnetic fields. And you're choosing to be in the cities, right? You need to get out in nature. You need to get away from this stuff, right? All you're getting here is pleasure. People that live in the cities are living there because they find pleasure, and it's escapism, right? If we go back to nature where our true source is, we realize that everything's interconnected, right? We look at the trees. The trees produce oxygen, right? They're upside down in comparative to our lungs, so we exchange with the trees, right? When we die, the insects and the bugs and the grass consume us, right? Plants actually eat us. So it's a perfectly designed system. The universe is too perfectly designed to be fair. So going back to the point I was making with disease that I was diagnosed with, it wasn't my disease, but I did create it. I don't ever take ownership of anything because it's not my headache, it's not my disease. It's just a communication with the universe and telling me that I'm misguided. That's all it is, it's direction. So with MS, you have to realize that there's several factors going on. It is a disconnection from the sun, not getting enough sunlight. It is, not getting your feet in the grass with nature and dumping the excess electrons. But you know what's even bigger? The bigger factor of it is with MS and nerves, your nerves sense. I was distracting and numbing myself is what it was. I didn't want to look at what life was giving me. So because life wasn't giving me what I wanted, which was success, and I was driven by, I want to be wealthy, I want to provide for me and my family and my friends, I want to be looked up to, right? I wasn't doing things for me. I wasn't centered with myself, right? I was wanting this huge business. I wanted to own this gym because I want to be successful and want to make all this money and live in the big house, right? For what? For pleasure seeking. But guess what the crazy thing is? When you live through your heart and mind-heart coherence, you don't have to live in pleasure seeking and materialism anymore. Because when you live through your heart, you're authentic and the universe provides for you. You want to seek nothing and attract everything, because it's either I'm all in or I'm all out, living with integrity, doing it for the right reasons and making a purpose, because the money will come. The women will show up in your life. Let me tell you, you get successful, every woman wants that energy. They want to be with you, right? You want to be healthy? Oh my God. All you have to do is be happy and that energy flows through you, understanding that there is a purpose behind that disease. Then you live in pleasure. You don't care when you die. You don't have attachment to anything. So now you never have pain because everything flows through you. When you resist the flow of life, you die. Energy, emotion continues to stay emotion. Emotion is energy, emotion is change. And change is the essence of life. And when you resist that flow of life, that's when you get the symptoms. So just remember that. Emotion is energy, emotion is change. And change is the essence of life. And so you have to let life flow through you. And once you decide to do that, you don't care about the outcomes. It's just a guidance system. People come and go in your life. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. No big deal. They move around you. We are learning from each other. That person was only supposed to be in your life for a little bit, to teach you something, to show you something. Sometimes they're in our life forever. That's amazing, right? That's a rare find, but sometimes people stay in our life forever. And those are their soul contracts and soul partners that come into our life, and be grateful for them. But be grateful for everybody, right? Even the enemy, because you know what happens when you understand that the enemies were there and you attracted them and you forgive them? You get the biggest fucking dopamine release from forgiving that person. More than any tobacco smoking, more than any drugs, more than becoming rich, more than driving the Ferrari. It's a bigger dopamine release that just opens you wide, right? Rumi said, you will continue breaking your heart over and over and over until you finally open it. And it's when you close your heart and you become jaded and you're doing things in pleasure seeking that the universe is going to punish you. And it's not really punishment. It's just teaching you. And so now you end up with cancer. You wind up with, here, let's take this. You're mad at your mom. 5 years old. Your mom made you go to a school where the kids picked on you. And you can't forgive her and you're angry about it and it's a horrible experience. But the whole thing is that anger that you're holding towards those kids and your mother for making you stay in that position when you should have learned to adapt and not become something else, but to learn to accept yourself, because there's a part of you who didn't accept yourself. Instead, you tried to just get angry and escape and come home and cry. What happened is that anger from 5 years old now is held in the bladder. and that creates weakness within the rectus femoris. And now all of a sudden you end up with bladder cancer. You wind up with a weak bladder, and you can't hold your urine, right? And oh my God, it happened 30 years after the fact. But you know what? That's why it happened. You have to go back to 5 years old when you were traumatized by these kids and learn to love yourself at 5 years old. Learn to accept yourself. And some people are still going through these struggles when they're 70 in their deathbed, right? But you can also live longer. I mean, we get to choose how long we live, right? That goes back to the belief system, right? What are your belief systems? I encourage every one of you to go out every day and reflect on the world and reflect on the relationships you have and the situations that are going on. Decide, how are you going to change those? Because you can be just like me. You can heal MS. You can get rid of migraines. You can walk again, getting rid of scoliosis. There is a will, there is a way. But it is that in which we decide to be in the world and not of the world that you will find every solution, being grateful, because gratitude is love in action. So I encourage every one of you to do that every single day. All right, so I have never, ever in my life done this. And like I said, I'm on a mission from God. So what I want to do is throw an opportunity out there. I'm going to do a call to action here. And the first 3 people to actually contact me at protouchrehab.com and go to my longevity packages, I have a huge package there. I'm going to discount that 50%. I'm going to knock it half off because I really want to see you guys making some changes in your life. And I know that you're struggling, you can't figure out why exactly things haven't shifted. And like I said, it's all what you think about, not just consciously, but subconsciously. The subconscious mind is the attractor pattern creating your reality. So what we want to do is focus on the things that you're not even aware of. And through that, you can create money, you can create love, and you can create health. All those things. Go to protouchrehab.com, click on the longevity packages, and you can see them right there. And then reach out through my email. Because as you change the way you view the world you view changes.